First, I'm going to ask you a question. How many people in this room like coffee? How many people in this room had coffee this morning? Okay, just a side thing that'll help you out with vocal care that Olivia was talking about. Coffee is actually one of the worst things to drink before singing, especially on a Sunday morning. I find a lot of times my Sunday team, first thing they do, they're just like, they come in with the coffee or they're going straight to the coffee shop. And it turns out that coffee dehydrates your vocal cords. And it also just like a bunch of junk gets on it, especially if you have dairy or any other things in it. So don't do coffee before singing. Okay, so I'll show you something. The thing about singing is we all deal with confidence problems, including me. If you look at my hands are shivering. We all deal with anxiety, all of us. And I was watching everyone as we were sitting earlier. Everyone's like either like listening and triddling with their fingers, trying to figure out what to do, how to be comfortable in their seat, in their area they're in. Singing is the same thing. Every single time I stand on a stage or I have to sing in a place, I deal with extreme anxiety. If you ask my brother here, like yesterday, he was like, Spirit, just so you know, heads up, you're shaking. And that was the beginning of my day. And I have to deal with stage fright, anxiety, and I'm super introverted, which people wouldn't know. And so every single time I stand up and I'm like, okay, I got to lead for my church or I have to do a concert, I have to remind myself, why am I doing this? What is the reason? And how much do I love this? And who am I? And who have the people that I love and trust say that I am? So remember that as you sing, just like 10 seconds, doesn't have to be long. Okay. Constantly growing up in a family of 11 kids, I'm number 6. Mm-hmm. That is the lie that I battled every single second. It took me till like 21, 22 to finally start singing and trusting the words that people said, but I didn't receive it. I started trusting it a little bit more, and then 25, I'm 30 now, 25 is when I was like, you know what, I'm going to crush these lies, and I'm going to say, Spirit, you do have a beautiful voice, and then the Lord has blessed you with it. So Jason, right? Yes. You do have a beautiful voice. You have so much to give and offer. So let's kill that lie. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but you have something to offer that no one in this room can give. And that's the voice that God gave you. And there's no other voice like it. Awesome. So all of you held the mic like this. That is not going to help with confidence. So that's the thing. It's like when it's on a stand, a lot of times people I do worship with, they're like, their hands are just like this. They're closed up. And that is actually beating you down mentally because you're like, I can't do it. Like when Olivia called me up here, immediately I was like, oh, I'm nervous. So I'm just going to move around. And that builds your confidence. That is like, this is a safe zone. This is a safe zone, safe zone, safe zone. Okay, I own this room. Why? Because the Lord gave me the space. And he gave me a voice. And I'm going to be confident in that. So I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't scare you. Because I know how loud mics can do that. I'm going to have you sing it, and I want, like Olivia was saying, kiss the mic. Okay. Now I'll do one, because I'm not just going to have you guys do it. So I'll do it without. He is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree. And he is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. Nervous. But I'm like, I'm going to connect with you. And even if I am nervous, I'm not going to give into it. Like in my brain, I'm praying. As I sing, I'm praying. And I'm thinking, and I'm rebuking away lies. Like Victor, as soon as he started singing on the mic, it made me start, when I sing Dancing in the Moonlight. But that was more confident than he was without the mic. With the mic, you battle more confidence. Like you had a hard time with the confidence. Without, you killed it. And so a lot of people, like Jason, right? Killed it. You did better with the mic. You're getting used to the mic, like you said, right? The mic is the most intimidating thing for someone who is battling confidence. Because you've probably heard people your entire life, if you grew up in a musical place or something and people didn't understand, they're like, oh, you're so loud, please quiet down. Oh, you're pitchy. Can you go in the other room? Can you, like, and so a lot of times we put mental blocks on ourselves. You guys can go sit down. And so, thank you. But they have incredible voices. And who in this room loves their voice? Like really means it. Did you love the voices that you heard up here? If you loved them, can you raise your hand? Jason, Ray, Victor, can you look at those hands? Especially you, Jason. Like, dude, no, I mean it. I'm not trying to point you out, but you have an incredible voice. Like, you too, Ray. Like, your voice is like when someone puts their head on a pillow at night in a long day, and you lay down and you're like, oh, and you relax. And so the enemy is going to do his best to take that away. And you're not gonna like find the confidence you need in yourself. I'm a Christian. I know a lot of us are. I believe that you're going to find the confidence in God. I believe that you're going to find that confidence in God, and you're going to find it in the people that He surrounded you with, who are going to tell you when you sound like crap and when you sound amazing. But they're going to tell you the most graceful way so you can grow. Anxiety. I'll tell you a story of how I dealt with anxiety recently. I did the national anthem for a Timbers game. I think it was like sometime the end of February. And I'm from Hawaii, born and raised. And so I was thinking, oh, soccer game, small, rules. Yeah. This be cool. This has been a dream of mine since I was 6 years old. Let's do this. And so it was the opening night. We're driving to the stadium. I'm driving. My brother was upset that he found out that I was driving. And 3 minutes from the venue, I just hear, and I'm like, and I like stop. I'm like, I turn around to my friend and I'm like, did I just run a red light in Portland? And she was like, yeah. And then before I know it, my anxiety was all the way down here. Before I knew it, I was at peaking level. I couldn't feel anything. I was driving my friends. And then all my hearing went in and out, in and out, in and out. And then I was like, oh, I am having a hard time breathing. So I went into breathing exercises and my friends were like, it's okay. I was like, no, it's not okay. I put everybody's lives in jeopardy. And they were like, it's okay, Spirit. And I was just like, nope, silence. Took control of the environment around me. And I said, please, not a word. Because I realized I know how people trigger my anxiety even more. And so we got to the venue, and before I know it, like, we're walking to the green room, and I'm like, I am floating on clouds. I am not feeling good. I'm like crying, I'm praying, and my friends are like, but this is such an exciting moment. And then so we sit down in a random place right outside the stadium, and we pray together, and I was like, God, this has always been a dream of mine to sing the national anthem. But it has never been a dream of mine to have everything else that surrounds us, that's connected with it. I don't want the intention. I don't want any of this, God. But if it's what you want, I will trust you in this. And my girls prayed with me, and we just continued praying, and then I got up. And then we went to the green room, and one of my friends critiqued me in the middle of practicing. And that made it worse. And because of that, that person became a trigger for an entire week. And so I'll talk about that later on. But then I was just like praying and praying. I was like, I can't feel anything. I like walk up to the mat thing where I'm supposed to sing. But before I'd walk up, I'm like, I didn't have the pitch pipe thing. And so I have like really bad hearing, but there's one thing I'm really good with is like finding my key. And so I took my hand, and I was like, oh, say, can you see? Over and over and over. In a stadium of thousands of people, I can barely hear my voice. And then I was just like, okay, trust that I know this song. Trust God. Because I can't hear a thing. I can't feel a thing. I'm shaking. I'm like feeling like I'm gonna vomit. I'm sweating. I'm cold because I'm in a dress, and it's like, it's Portland. It's February. And so I'm just like trying to breathe. And I just stop, and I'm like, I stop, and I stand still like that, and I'm like leaning against the wall. And I'm like, and I open my eyes, and one of my best friends, she's standing there, and she's quiet. In the middle of a world of noise to me, she's just standing there, and she's quiet. And that is the type of person you want near you when you're going to do something amazing and cool. But you're so nervous, and you forget who you are, and then if you are equipped to do it. You want someone who can meet you in the way that you need to be met. For me, I need to be met in the silence, in the middle of a place of noise. Some people, they're extroverted. They need to be met with words like, you can do this, you got this, you're the best. I'm the opposite. And so knowing who you are in those moments. So I walked up. As I'm walking up, it felt like I was like flying up. I was like, oh my gosh. I walk up there, I'm like standing there, and I start singing. And I can feel the vibration in my heart of what notes I'm hitting. And I align my notes right. And I start singing, and I'm like, I can't see anything. It's black, it's blurry. No one exists. My hands are shaking. And then I look up, and I'm trying to breathe in the middle. And right in the middle, I just take a breath, and I say a quick prayer. And then everything comes in focus. But I see my brother Victor. And he's up in the bleachers. He's like far away, but it feels like he's right here because of my anxiety. And I can see him mouthing the words. And I was like, I know the words. And I was like, oh, enjoy this. Be present. Breathe. And then everything went whoop, and I can see everything completely clear. And I was just like, this is crazy. And then I could feel it. I can hear everything. And I overcame the anxiety in that moment. Finished it, killed it, and I was like, awesome. Then I went back up to the bleachers. I'm sitting with my friends and everything, and then boom, it takes off again. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I watched like 2 or 3 scores, and I'm like, I gotta go. And so it's like not pushing yourself beyond what you can take is very important. Like, I just want to say, Jason, thank you for coming up. Victor, Ray, thank you for coming up, because that's extremely uncomfortable. I believe that singing is like 2 things. It's like you're either naked in a room in front of people, or you're in a clown suit and you're in front of people like, and everyone's like judging you. And that's what we all think. But we need to kill those lies and say, no, they're here to support me, and I'm here to minister and pour out to these people. But that's the second thing. First thing, I am here to sing to my Lord. And I'm here to bring him praise and adoration. I need to focus on that. And when you find that that's your first reason for doing it, or like, I'm here to take care of people and not, this is my moment, then you find when it's not about you and it's about something else, that's when you find that you can overcome anxiety a lot more. And so I've dealt with anxiety since I was probably like 3, 4, anxiety, panic attack, stage fright. And yeah, you just have to believe that you do have a beautiful voice. I hated my voice until I was like, I think it was 2017. So that's like 7 years ago now. So I was like 23, completely hated it. Didn't like the raspiness of it. And then I just heard God say, girl, you're tripping. You're saying the God of the universe made a mistake on you, giving you that voice. He didn't make any other mistakes in the world, but he made a mistake on you. And now, like, think about that for yourself. I'm telling you, God doesn't make mistakes. Like, each and every one of us has a voice for a reason, was given a voice for a reason. So if that can help you with your confidence, just know that he doesn't make mistakes. You are who you are for a reason. And there's someone in this world that needs to hear your voice. For vocal care stuff, I looked up a funny article, and it's like, milk, yogurt, cheese, and other dairies, processed sugar, caffeine, chocolate. Chocolate is a triple threat. It says it's not naturally contains caffeine, which will dry you out, constrict your muscles around your vocal cords, and it also has acid reflux triggers. And so it's just like, that's another thing you want to stay away from. You want to stay away from fried foods. You want to stay away from butter. And this is my Achilles. You want to stay away from ice water. I love cold water, but that like tightens your vocal cords. So you want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from soda and alcohol, spicy foods. And then here's another problem of mine, because I'm like, I don't like anything getting in the way of me singing. So a lot of times I just do peppermint tea in the morning and I won't eat. So plan your meals like an hour or two before, enough for it to get out of your vocal cords, and take care of it. So none of them are sang together before. And we're just going to sing together, and I'm going to encourage you guys to more like take your hands out of your pockets. Try not to bring your feet together. Like, give yourself more room. You swing the arms around a little bit to relax. And we're just going to worship. He is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions, eclipsed by glory. Now try more like with your hands out. That's okay. I'll go to the chorus in a sec. So have your hands out, like more like how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Again. How he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Beautiful. I just wanted to show like there's confidence, there's beauty. When you have your feet together like that, I could hear and I can feel like when you had your arms down, it's just like, okay, I'm up here in front of everybody, I'm singing. And then when you more like this and you move your arms around, then it's just like, okay, I'm up here, I'm in front of everybody and singing, but this is possible. And it's just like remembering that. Yeah, all good. Who in here deals with anxiety? If you deal with anxiety, lift your hands up. Look around in the room and look, almost everybody in the room, huh? You're not alone. Anxiety will tell you you're the problem, not not alone. That you're alone and that you're the problem. And a lot of times anxiety is like, you are overthinking. You're putting on a show. It's you. No, you're okay. You're just, and a bunch of lies. On and on and on and on and on. So first thing remembering is anxiety. No, you don't own me. And that's exactly how I deal with it all the time. I deal with it every single day. And there's days where it's just like, it's at this level and I'm like, okay, it's cool. I can handle it. I can breathe, no problem. And then there's days where I wake up 3 a.m. in the morning because I was around people for the entire day prior. And so who in this room is an introvert? Yeah, look around. Extroverts, lift your hands up. That's the cool thing of how God made us all different. Because you're introverted doesn't mean you don't love people, that you don't love doing what you do. It just, sometimes it makes being in front of people hard. And I personally know how that is because I'm not an extrovert. But I do have to say that my extrovert friends have pulled me out of my comfort zone a lot. And I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now because of them. And like, I would not be able to stand in front of you. What's your name? Gina, and say, Gina, what's up? What's your favorite thing to do?
Sing.
Yeah. Why did you start singing?
Because I love it.
Yeah.
It helps me feel connected.
Yeah. What is the most challenging thing that you have with singing?
Probably feeling like I am the least qualified or worthy to be part of a group. But when I can say being part of a group isn't about me,
Yeah.
I'm always met with grace and people receive my gifts too.
Yeah, that's good. I also want you to just kill that lie. Because you are just as qualified as everyone else in this room. I mean that. Like, I don't know you. I've met you today. But I can tell you this, that the Lord gave you the voice for a reason. He gave you the heart that you have to love people for a reason. He created Gina for a reason, which means you are you are qualified. You are. And anyone who tells you that you're not qualified to worship the Lord and sing along in a group, that's not right. That's backwards, right? That's backwards. So does anyone else in the room feel similar? If you do, just raise your hand. Like sometimes feel that you're not qualified to sing along with people and sing with people. Raise them up high so people can see. Gina, look, everyone battles that lie. So surround yourself with people that love you and that will tell you the truth and call you higher. I battle that. I battled it since a kid. And my mom would say, Spirit, you have the loudest voice in the house. You better be singing. And she could hear me singing in the shower. She could hear me singing everywhere. But the moment she put a mic in front of me or put me in front of somebody else, it's like, and she's like, Spirit. I was like, how he loves us. What's I forgot the words, Mom. And because battling that lie. And then one day, she was talking to her friends and she was like, hey, Spirit, sing them a song. And I was like, ooh, in the middle of a supermarket. And I was like, what song should I sing? But now my favorite song to sing on the spot is, fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. It brings me so much peace. And I connect to it, and it has memories of my dad and my mom singing together. And it's the most comfort song. Whenever I'm going through something, I just sing that. And a lot of people are like, oh, you really love that song? I'm like, yeah, I really love that song. But it's just like, we deal with confidence problems. We deal with accepting the truth about who we are. A lot of times I feel like we love Gina. You love Christina, and you barely even know her. And you probably love her so good, better than someone else in her life loves her. But we forget to love Gina. We forget to love ourselves. I forget to love Spirit. A lot of my friends say, Spirit, you are the most encouraging person we know. You're such a sweetheart. But then when I mess up, I had a mess up where I was like leading worship for a church and the lyrics went out. And I was just like, oh, and I just got upset. And then I was like confused. And I was like, this happened like at Ashley's church. But afterwards, I was like, dude, it's all good. But no, I got home and I was like, you're the worst. You should have done better. And I beat myself down all day. This is about 1.5 years ago. And then I had to tell myself, stop. You are not taking care of Spirit. And that wasn't me. That was God telling me that. I know that for sure. And God was like, what are you speaking over my daughter? So what negative things are we speaking over ourselves that is tearing down the confidence that God has given us? What negative things? If you have a phone or you have a piece of paper, can you write down 3 things of what you're saying to yourself on a daily that tears you down and doesn't lift you up? But I want you to take those things and say, what does God think of me, or what does the person who loved me the most that I know of, what do they tell me that helps me get through the night? And so like confidence leads into a lot of things. When your confidence has been beaten, when you're dealing with anxiety, it tends to go towards depression, which a lot of musicians deal with. And depression leads to a lot of things, including suicide, which is why we lose a lot of artists, a lot of creative people, because they deal with these things. So I didn't plan on this, but if you're going through depression and you're going through extreme anxiety and you're going through some heavy stuff, you're not alone. Talk to the people. Grab a stranger if you need to. If you can't find a friend or something, and just say, yo, like, I'm not doing good. It's hard. But you realize when your voice is heard, the same way music gives you peace when you sing, you realize when you speak about it, it tends to die off. It tends to make you feel like you're above water. You're no longer underneath, you're treading now. You're at an okay area. A student of mine, she has extreme anxiety, and she just recently pierced her ears. And that was a huge thing for her. And she pierced her ears, and her doing piercing her ears gave her this amazing boost of confidence of singing in front of people. She sang in front of my brother Victor, friend Megan, and another person that she never met before. And before that, she was just like, no. But all it took was for her to take a step and say, okay, I'm going to do something that's good for me that I'm scared of. And so singing is something that's good for you, but you're scared of. So this challenge I'll give you is what I give all my students. If you're in a coffee shop, you're sitting there, randomly sing your favorite song. That's challenging, right? Right? I do that to overcome my anxiety. I'll act like my headphones are in my ear, and I'll act like they're playing music, and I'll just start singing. And then people are just like, and then I'll look up, and people are just like, oh. And then some people are like, beautiful voice. And then there's someone I never met. But no one does. No one does that. So, yeah, just, I don't know. Anxiety is a lie. Saying you're not enough is a lie. So let's flip the coin, flip the perspective, and say, who am I singing for? Why am I doing this? And why do I love it so much? And if I know all three of these reasons, or if I know two of these, then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep on stepping forward. And yeah, it's so cool. I came from a family of 11 kids, as I said earlier. I was born and raised in Hawaii. I left the island for the first time since I was 2 in 2017. And then I started traveling, and then I ended up out here in this small town, and I thought I was going to be out here for 3 months. I made 2 years on the 31st, and it's been the most incredible thing, but the most challenging thing, because everything is new. Every face is new. And every concert I do, there's no safe spots unless I meet the people there and they become safe spots. So after you finish a concert, if you're an extreme introvert and you deal with a lot of anxiety, the first thing you do, you get up, you finish singing, and a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, I want to come and meet you right now. You're so incredible. Don't do that. Don't. You feel the pressure, like you have to get up and come say hi to people. Immediately, I'm just like, I get up, and if I find a safe spot, I'm just like, I'll go out the door, and I'll stand there for 2-3 minutes. I'll get my alone time. I'll get my space. And I'll, hey, I didn't get to meet you. Nice to meet you. And your name is, sweetheart? Nice to meet you, Katie. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you can make it. But if I did that right away, my energy level would. But now, since I have control of my environment again, because I just came from a super sensitive thing of sharing music, sharing my heart, sharing songs that are telling my testimony of what I went through, things since like that people have no idea, but I put them in words and I shared it. And now I'm like, instead of going straight from that with my heart open and all my emotions raw, I give myself time to recollect, to put my shield up and say, okay, Lord, I'm going to go meet you people. And then therefore, instead of it going, it takes a giant chunk out. It still does. But you're not going to get home. You're not going to get sick. Because if you're dealing with anxiety and dealing with mental stuff, you tend to find out that mental battles affect you physically. If anxiety can shut down your body, imagine how sick it can make you. Can make you get runny nose, sore throat. Stress is insane. So, yeah, I don't have that much to say other than learn to be love, learn to love, and learn to love who God created. Because your name again? Madeline. Madeline, you have a beautiful voice. I listen to you when you sing, and don't keep your walls up to God. Let him in. Allow him to heal the brokenness that's there. Allow him to uproot those lies that people have put in and that you've put in. And then allow him to put the truth and that love in there. Because he's chosen you for a reason. I was listening to your voice. Out of everybody in this room, he keeps highlighting you to me. And everyone in this room is equally as special, but to me, he highlighted you. And that's how it's going to be for different people. And each person is highlighted for someone else in this room. So, if I can just have you come up here. Did you guys hear the difference? Way more full, right?
Yeah.
So,
sore throat today.
no, it's okay. It's like, that's the thing. Sometimes all you need to do is take a whole step down.
Yeah, I was fine on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It just went, yeah.
But it was like, no, like.
Different when I'm sick.
No, I'm just going to stop it all. Both said it incredible. But that is the support system I'm talking about. I realized, forgetting your name again.
Madeline.
Madeline's voice, because I listened to her. I didn't say, we're going to stay in the key that you're in. Yeah. I'm like, no, Madeline said that she's sick. She has a sore throat, and so it's a little raspy today. And so, as a support system, I was like, okay, I'm not good at piano, but I'm going to take it a whole step down. And it filled the room. And it filled my heart. I'm saying that, seriously. So, that's the type of support system we need to give each other. Like, Madeline's incredible, beautiful voice. But the enemy is just going to tear her down if she doesn't have people like you to love and support her. And so, let's step out in confidence like Madeline did and do that. And then let's step out and be the most supporting we can be for our friends and get to know. Yeah.
You are good.
Oh,
You're really good at piano.
thank you. I accept that. I'm not bad at piano, but thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for grabbing me on that. And that's the type of thing I need, because I can help people, encourage people all day long, but I tend to put myself down. And so that's another thing I'm flipping. But I learned, one of my favorite things that my dad said, you can sit down, is like, teach what you want to learn. Because if you're just learning something on your own, you tend to get to a certain point. But if you want to teach somebody and help them out and support them, you tend to push yourself to learn more. That's what some of the best teachers do that.